Okay, this video is going to be a little bit different from ones I've done so far. I didn't go to a show. For my birthday, my wife and my friends went up to Nashville, Tennessee to just hang out. We went to see some of our friends that live there. We went to a show and we were there for about 4 days. And I thought, well, I'm up here, might as well do some hunting when I've got some downtime. One of the problems you run into going to your local shops is that they run out of stuff. I mean, their inventory is not infinite and you have to give it some time. So best way to combat that is go somewhere completely new. Okay, first off of the trip was McKay's in Knoxville. Not a whole lot of footage there. I wasn't really sure what to expect. But as you can see, there is a lot to go through. We were on the way to Nashville, so I didn't have a whole lot of time in here, but we did find some cool comics. I've mentioned it before, my wife is a Scarlet Witch collector, so she found a couple cool ones. This one's a Death of Doctor Strange number 5 in the run. Nothing too crazy, just she likes the artwork on the book, so she got this one. This next one, I don't even know what the run is. It says it's number 7. It has Who Are the Gods on the bottom. I've read that story, but Scarlet Witch wasn't in it, so I don't know. But the cool thing is, it's paying homage to like a Wizard of Oz type thing. You can see there's the lion, the scarecrow. I think those are the flying monkeys, yeah. Just a really cool cover. So that's all she got, and I got a couple as well. I got this Vision and Scarlet Witch. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm a pretty big sucker for the foil covers. Don't really know what this one's from. I need to do some research on it, but I just thought it was a cool cover. Another one that I got, I'm continuing my obsession with these action figure comic books. I don't know why I love these, but they're just so cool. And this next one I got solely for the cover. The Deadpool and Batman, I'm kind of waiting until the whole thing comes out till I read it. But this one has one of my favorite Marvel characters, Jeff, and then Crypto on the front as well. I just thought it was really cool.
hold up. There's no way that is what I think it is. If you remember my previous video, I was showing off the Toy Biz Scarlet Witch that I bought for my wife. There was a whole back and forth about the vehicle being wrong. I ended up getting a different vehicle. So at the end, what I realized is I need to start searching for her actual vehicle. I had no idea at the time that I was going through that I'm holding her vehicle in my hand. I wish I could go back and pick this up, because this is the first time I've actually seen it. Well, I didn't realize I'd seen it, but now I know that I have seen it. I would have been really mad if there was a Wonder Man that I just passed over. Okay, anyways, back to it.
Next, I was at a toy mall. I'd never heard of a toy mall before, but it's essentially like think of an antique mall, but only toy vendors. So you can see I'm walking around, there's just a bunch of smaller sections of, it feels almost like a show, how they have the booths set up, but it's a physical store. So I spent way too much time in here. I went through every single vendor multiple times. The collection there was pretty eclectic. They had everything from modern to vintage. They had Transformer. They had a whole room of Transformers, actually. So I did find a couple things here and there for a pretty decent price. Okay, this first one continues my wife's obsession with Scarlet Witch. I found a couple of them there and she settled on this one. I'm pretty sure this is the Multiverse of Madness movie. Pretty cool one. And yeah, again, shout out to my brother-in-law for the stands. The rest of these are for me. This next one is Adam Warlock. It's from Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He was a pretty cheap price. I want to say it was like less than 10, might have been $5. But for that, it's a good shelf filler, so I had to get that. This next one I got for a steal. I don't think a lot of people like this figure. There's not a lot to it, but I still think it's pretty cool. It has some good features to it. This is Shuri. I think this is before she became Black Panther. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like from the first one. So I got this for $1. So again, great shelf filler. Said it many times and I will continue to say it. Go to Dick Ben's. This one was at a booth that didn't really have a whole lot of stuff I was looking for. It's mostly He-Man. And I looked down, there's a bin at the bottom that was like crazy marked off stuff. So I started digging and I found this one. This is the Toy Biz Captain Marvel from 2006. And again, this is just something that I could not pass up for the price. This last one's probably my favorite find of the toy mall, because I'm wanting to search more and more for weird 90s and 80s toy lines. So I got Vinny from the Biker Mice from Mars. He's a little beat up. He doesn't have accessories, but I mean, again, for the pricing, it was $7. That's a steal. I'm taking that all day. So my first trip to McKay's, didn't really find a whole lot of action figures, but I did find those really cool comics. Later on in the trip, this was about halfway through, there's a McKay's in Nashville. So I had to go check that out, and I hit the mother load. I'm gonna kind of group these up between the kind of general toy lines, but I found a lot of stuff, so let's just get into it. Okay, we're gonna start with my growing turtles collection. This is kind of an honorable mention because I didn't film any at this show, but I did find this, like, I think it's called Next Mutations, Michelangelo. It's kind of like the Mighty Max playsets, if I can open this thing up. Yeah, so it's incomplete, doesn't have any of the figures. There's supposed to be like a slide here, maybe something else here, but it was cheap. It was like $5. So this is what started my turtle collection, and now we're fully in it. So this is the something Surfing Mikey. I'll put it up here. But this is from one of the original toy lines. I was kind of rubbed off there. Yeah, I think it says 1990. But yeah, he's a little beat up. You can see like the glasses right there kind of beat up a little bit, and the paint's rubbed off, but I think this was like $3, $4, so I mean, I'll take that all day. So I'm just gonna show both of these at once. This is the turtle line where they actually transform. I'm not gonna do it because I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Oop. Well, you can see it opens up here. You turn the head around. I'm terrified I'm gonna break this. Here you can kind of see, and so now it's like an actual turtle head, and then his arms come out that's inside here, and he actually looks like a turtle. So for this newer-ish line, this is like mid-2000s, 2007. I've got Leo and Raph. Now this is why I'm afraid to transform them, because I also found one of the original ones from the 90s. So this is Michelangelo from that toy line, and I was trying to transform him completely, and you'll see I broke a foot off. I mean, broke off right there. I was trying to transform him. Won't be doing that again. So some pretty good pickups for the turtle collection. It's ever growing. But yeah, let's get to Marvel Legends and a couple other things. This is another shelf space filler. There you go, shelf filler. Star-Lord. I think it's the same line as Adam Warlock, but yeah, this was cheap. It was like $3. Another cheapie, but a good one. This is He Who Remains from the Loki show. I personally love that show. So I want to have him on shelf, and again, I think it was like $3, so that's crazy. Then the last Marvel Legends, here we got Magneto. This was probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends I picked up. I don't know what this one is from. It's not the Trial of Magneto, so it's something else, but it's the first one I have, so that's pretty cool. Now you can see, or what you can kind of see, most of my stuff is Marvel Legends, Marvel focused, if not almost all of it. But there is one non-Marvel that I have, or specifically one DC. It's the Penguin from the Superpowers. He doesn't have his umbrella, but I picked that one up not too long ago. Thought it was pretty cool. I'm not against DC, I just don't know it as much as Marvel. But recently I read this comic. It was the Green Lantern Blackest Night, and I saw this one at the McKay's and I had to get it. It's the Batman from Blackest Night. Man, that is spooky looking. Okay, so that's all of the Marvel Legends. I have one more category to show. This might be goofy, but this is the Bendies. I don't actually know what the toy line is, but I mean, I know these are older. Yeah, so this Cyclops is 91, and this is 89. Looks like it says Mattel. So yeah, I just think these are really cool. They're kind of quirky. I know there's a good bit of them. I've seen these two, obviously. I've also seen a Wolverine, so I'd like to get them all and maybe like have them kind of, because you can bend their arms and they'll hold. Well, kind of, but I like to have them throughout the collection because it's just kind of a weird, unique thing to have. So that's almost all the toys. I did pick up some physical media. I'm trying to get away from streaming services. If anybody else is doing that, it's a great endeavor. So I thought that was it. And we were on the way back, and I wanted to stop back into the Knoxville location just because, you know, we had time. And I'm looking around, not seeing a whole lot of stuff. It's pretty picked through, about the same stuff that I saw before. And then I found a personal grail of mine that I've been looking for to complete something else that I've been doing, which is my Green Hulk and Red Hulk. So you remember me talking about this from one of the first videos on my channel. I wanted to find these comics. So I found them both, and I talked about also wanting to display them somehow. I didn't want to just put them in a box. I wanted to display them really cool. So my idea was to get like a shadow box, and you have the two comics in the shadow box side by side, so it makes like a full face. And then I want to put something else in there. And I mentioned there's a figure that I've been looking for that goes perfect with that, which is the Compound Hulk. Man, this is so cool. So I got this for a great price. I think it was like 38 bucks with tax. I wasn't seeing anything close to that online sealed. I mean, this is actually, I lied, this is not sealed. It has been opened, but it doesn't matter to me if it's been sealed or not. But my idea is to have this right here, and then, well, the comics like this, bam, and bam. I think that'd be a pretty unique way to display that in my office and show off my personal grail, or the first thing that I went chasing for, and I found it all in person. So that's it. I got a lot of stuff. I say that's it, but I got a lot of stuff. So this was a really cool trip and a great idea that I think I'm gonna do more in the new year. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, you know, your local shops don't have infinite inventory. They only get stuff in when somebody brings them in or they buy a collection. So the way to find more stuff for you is to go to newer places. Plus you get to support other small businesses, which is awesome. Don't really have an idea of where I wanna go next. This one just happened to be, I'm going somewhere. Let's see if there's stuff in the area. I might do a little bit of research next time. I am going to Retro Toy Con, but that's at the end of the year in like November-ish. And I'm going for that one, the actual show, so that doesn't really count. But if you have any suggestions on places that would be a good spot to go and have, you know, in a centralized 30-minute drive area, I could stay. There's some cool toy shops around there. Let me know. All right, peace out. See ya. Not gonna lie, this is the favorite. Not gonna lie, this is probably my favorite shirt on. Why am I saying that at the beginning?